Good morning, everyone. This is Melody Reels at the Iowa Quilt Museum. It's a Thursday morning, not quite 9 a.m. yet, so we'll just take a minute, wait for people to log on and join, and I will straighten my name tag. Okay. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. It's time to wake up and, I used to sing Go to School. For my kids, I'm just kidding. 9 a.m. Good morning, everyone. Melody Reels here at the Iowa Quilt Museum in Winterset, Iowa. It's Thursday morning, 9 a.m., and it's time for another video. Happy 4th of July tomorrow. That being said, I'd like to just give a little shout out to Quilts of Valor Foundation. If you don't know, Quilts of Valor Foundation's headquarters is located here in Winterset, Iowa. It's a national foundation. There's group members in all 50 states. Over 10,000 members, 600 quilt groups, at least back in the day. I was their office manager for, I think, about 4 years here in Winterset. So it's been just over a year since I left there. But at the time, they were inching up to 300,000 quilts awarded in the 20 years that they have been a foundation. I believe they're well into 400,000 quilts in that 1 year. They awarded 100,000 more quilts. If you don't know what Quilts of Valor is, quilters will make a patriotic, or just make a quilt. It doesn't necessarily have to be patriotic, but we'll make a quilt for a veteran and award it to them. It's a civilian award. It's not to be bought. It's not to be sold. It's to be awarded. And so real quick, we have a display in our museum, and this quilt was sitting back there in our display. So here's a sample of a quilt, but what I really wanted to show you was that the quilt, and then it has a label on it, and the label, generally, they don't all look like this, but they generally say, you know, the name of the quilt, you know, the pattern style. So this is called, let me tell you, Stars and Stripes. This was by Peggy Freely. It has her name, her age, her location here in Winterset, and it's quilted by her. Date started, date completed, and it was presented to a Roland Jamison. And then it says, thank you for your service. And then she has a little pocket here with a little letter that she presented to Roland. And it's just a wonderful foundation. And in the ceremony, so our local group, every group does something a little different. Our local group is ran by Jerry Beam. She is the leader of the quilt group here in town, Quilts of Valor, Peaceworks Quilts of Valor. Her and her husband, anybody can award in her group, and they do. A lot of people do. But I just want to focus on them because she will talk about Quilts of Valor, how it started, about the foundation, and her husband, who is the commander at the American Legion, will interview the soldier, the veteran, and then he'll give his credentials and talk about his service, and then she will, after that, she wraps him up in a quilt. This is part of every ceremony, is wrapping the veteran in a quilt. It was started by, man, her name just went right out of my head. I know it. I should know it. I was there for 4 years. Rebecca. No. Shoot. Somebody's going to put it in the comments. Anyway, but it's probably 22 years now that it's been a foundation. But she had a dream. Her son was off in the service, and she just had a dream of a veteran on a bed and just sitting there and really sad. And she just took her quilt and wrapped him, I'm summarizing, and wrapped him in one of her quilts, and just how much it meant to her and meant to the veteran. And so their motto is quilts equals comfort and healing, which it truly does. It's veterans, a lot of them, they won't think that they deserve it, or they don't want the recognition. But once they get that quilt wrapped around them, it's pretty special. I could tear up right now thinking about it. Anyway, since it's 4th of July tomorrow, I just wanted to give a shout out to Quilts of Valor and a veteran civilian award foundation that's here in Winterset, Iowa. And you can go to qovf.org, and Q as in quilts, OVF, Quilts of Valor Foundation, qovf.org. There you can nominate a veteran. I nominated my brother who's in Texas. I'm here in Iowa. I, like a good little sister, knew nothing about his service. I did the best I could and just guessed in his application, and then you can always fix it after it gets in, and and you talk to your veteran and you can get those credentials in correctly. And anyway, but you could go on their website, you can nominate a veteran, you could look at becoming a member, you could look at what qualifies as a Quilts of Valor. It has to be a certain size, it has to be a certain fabric, it has to be a certain thread to qualify as a Quilts of Valor and register the quilt. Anyway, all that information. I've gone on 5 minutes, 6 minutes about Quilts of Valor, but I do love it. It has my heart. I love Quilts of Valor. So happy 4th of July. I hope whatever you do this weekend is wonderful. Again, we had some great visitors this week. We had people from all over. I had a group of ladies that were just here from Iowa and had never been to Winterset before, and they stopped in the museum, and I was so thankful for that. We do get that quite a bit. People don't tour their own home, right? Their own home state or their own backyard. So that's, it's so fun when local Iowans come to the Quilts of Valor. But I also had a gal who grew up in Iowa but now lives in Florida and watches these videos. And she came in to say, I watch you on Thursday morning. And that just, I just meant so much to me. Because I don't think anybody watches these videos. Well, my friends, my lovely friends watch these videos. So I really appreciated her saying something. Before we get started, one more thing. Okay, 2 more things. Events come. We had the first barn quilt painting class last Saturday. Lots of fun, full class. They had a great time. You could see their quilt barn blocks, quilt blocks on. I have it on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, and I probably even have it on YouTube. You could see what they came up with and how they did. If you missed out and you want to participate in a class, we still have 2 more classes in July 19th and 20th, Saturday and a Sunday. You can join those classes. There's 11 spots open on Saturday, only 6 spots open on Sunday. It's only a half a day. It's from 1 to 5. She does, you pick out your design, she draws it on the board, and you just have to tape it and paint it. And you walk away with something really fun and cute that you did. We had a husband and wife couple that did it. We had a mother-daughter couple that did it. We had a couple of groups of girlfriends that did it. Individuals came. I had one lady from Minneapolis come down, drove all the way down just to be a part of the class. And so I gave her a personal tour of the Quilt Museum for her time. I just thought that was so wonderful. So if I run out of space and there's enough interest, we are considering offering more classes in August. Lastly, share your stash sale on November 8th. Mark your calendars. I have a local knitting crocheting group that's going to donate yarn and knitting and crocheting materials. So this isn't just sewing and quilting. It's any craft item. I will take it and then we will resell it. We will sell it at a rummage sale kind of thing, and all that money comes here to the museum and helps us keep our lights on and the doors open, and and get wonderful exhibits like this. So share your stash sale November 8th. I'm taking donations now. You can mail them in. I'll take them mailed in, whatever, or drive them down and come see a new fabulous exhibit. One of the things the lady said from Florida was, wow, this exhibit is so much better in person. I can only, this little phone and this little screen and this little camera and seeing it in person is a totally different experience than seeing it online. And so I strongly encourage you to come visit us, come see us. Enough of all that. Let's get to our quilt already. I'm 8 minutes into this video and we haven't even talked about Susan Lapham. She did that quilt right there, but we're not going to talk about that one. We already talked about that one. That's Playland number 5. We're going to talk about Playland number 6 today because, I was trying to figure out 4th of July, kind of a vibe. So let me turn it around. This is Playland number 6 by Susan Lapham. The dimensions are 79 height, 83 width. Pieced by Susan, quilted by her wonderful husband, John. And I don't want to say his last name because I am terrible. Quilt story, Long Island Sound, a place where saltwater and freshwater mix. It is a breeding and feeding ground for birds and sea animals and fish. Ferries and ships and barges and yachts and fishing vessels dot the water. Thrill seekers delight in the wind. I just thought, 4th of July, going to the beach, enjoying the sun, having a holiday. That's kind of how I related it to the upcoming holiday. And you're looking at this and you're like, but Melody, where's the beach? Well, let me tell you. So hopefully you could see me. Hopefully you can hear me. I know I don't have my microphone on. This is the beach. This is the beach here. This is the water with the boats and the barges all on it. And then over here is the land. So it kind of gives you more of a map. Just for reference, I do have Susan, she has, Lapham is an abstract artist, textile artist who dances between design, wall, and sewing machines. She is inspired by her unusual childhood crossing 5 continents. So let's just put that off there. She received I love this part. I think it's helpful to know. She received a degree in cartography and statistics and worked as a map maker and researcher until she retired in 2023. I just feel like her quilts kind of give that map feel to it. And that is why I like to point that out all the time. She says, I explore the narrow alleyways of the Medina and vast sand beaches of the Mediterranean. My work emerges in surreal complexity, each piece a memory, a feeling, a moment in time. And so there's all the quilts in here are the Playland Park series. And Playland Park is in Rye, New York, includes an amusement park, ice skating rink, saltwater pool, boardwalk, beach, and wildlife sanctuary. At operation in 1928, it maintains its original Art Deco charm, proudly billing itself as America's premier playground. I spent many best ever days during my high school years. And she was here and she talked about going there with her brother. We talked about the bumper car one. We were over at the other one where she talked about her first kiss. So she's got a lot of fond memories here. So let's take a little closer look at her piecing and her husband's quilting. Just take it's like, what is that? That is fuzz. So here we go. I love this. I don't know why, but I love this little square right here. I love that pop of purple in there with the different shades of pink and red. I think what draws me to this so much too is, your eye always goes to the brightest spot of the quilt. So here's the brightest spot, but look at all these fabulous colors over here. And when I think of the barges, I do think of the big ships that have those containers, those shipping containers stacked on them, and they are so colorful. This here makes me think of those shipping containers stacked on those big ships, right? And then you have the lines of the blue, the different shades of blues and greens and aquas poking through. Look at all those little red dots. I don't believe, I'm trying to get up as high as I can for you so you can kind of see that up there. There's something about, being on this little screen too, you just don't see how large and impressive and vibrant this quilt is. And there's her husband's stitching. You can really see it in that blue block there. More of those dots. Let's back up a little bit so you can get it again. Again, this is Playland number 6. Get you back on the stand here and straighten you out there. Her quilt story is Long Island Sound, a place where saltwater and freshwater mix. It is a breeding and feeding ground for birds and sea animals and fish. Ferries and ships and barges and yachts and fishing vessels dot the waters. Thrill seekers delight in the wind. So there you go. This all over here is the water with the barges and the vessels and the fishing vessels and ships all over here. You've got the beach that comes along here. And you have all those thrill seekers over here on the land over here. This video just, you're a little crooked, does not do this quilt justice. The colors up in here, the blues mixed with those oranges and purples and reds, it's just, I love it. I love those colors over there and the colors down in here. I love this bright spot here of the beach that curves around. It's this, yeah, you really need to see this in person. I believe these quilts are going somewhere next, and I can't remember where. I want to say the East Coast. Maybe Virginia. That's where Susan lives. She's in Virginia, and I believe she's on the board of the Virginia Quilt Museum there. So maybe they're going there next. But I'm just so thankful we have this here. I come to Winterset, come see this. And if you can't, go follow them. And when it's close to you, go see it there. Okay, well, I'm gonna flip it around and say again, happy 4th of July, and come see us, Winterset, Iowa, here at the Iowa Quilt Museum, open 7 days a week. We will be open tomorrow even. 10 to 5 on Monday through Saturday and 12 to 4 on Sunday. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining. I really do truly appreciate you watching now or later. Please like the video, share the video, comment. Anything that you do really just pushes us out there more and really helps the museum out. So thank you so much. And we will see you next week with another great quilt. Thanks, everybody.